Man, it was crazy. It lived up to the hype. Way better than UFC
No, it
305.
wasn't.
Better than 305? One of those all when Dana White came out and said,
Oh, at
"Oh
the Dome?
no, that's at the Spear.
The Sphere,
The
sorry.
Spear was made. That was 30. I think that was 306.
That one was amazing because it's a Sphere. But the fights, if we're just going fights for fights, I think that one had better fights than this one. I don't know. They were both kind of weak, honestly. The last two fights compared to what we've seen have been kind of weak as far as the fights go. I love the atmosphere of the Sphere. That was really cool to see. But I don't know. Some of these fights kind of let me down. And then the judges, I think, got like out of the last three fights wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So disappointing with the judges. I didn't see all the prelims. We did see what is it, Wonder Boy?
Yeah, we're saying Wonder Boy.
We saw him lose. He was doing so well, and then he got knocked the F out.
Horrible. But hey, man, I mean, this fight was this USC event was crazy, man. Everybody came to see Alex Pereira versus Roundtree Jr. The light heavyweight championship match. I mean, and it lived up to the hypes, man. We got a video clip right here of the hype. Then we gonna come back and let you know of all the other fights and who Alex say he gonna fight next. Hey, then you already know, man. You had
Fraud.
Juliana Pena.
Ô Brasil, eu falei, o cinturão é nosso. Mais uma, obrigado a todos pela torcida, energia muito boa. Estou muito feliz com o que aconteceu. Mais uma defesa de título, quebrando recordes. E é isso aí, estou muito feliz. Obrigado, chama!
Chama. Oh, next fight. I forgot to add this.
Duplessis.
Exactly, next fights here. So I mean, if you didn't know, man, right now, Alex Pereira is on a winning spree, man. This is the third title fight in 176 days. He fought UFC 300, then fought UFC 303 in June. And this one was nothing like any other, man. Alex said he had a game plan. The game plan was, I'm a rope a dope. Pull out my greatest Muhammad Ali impression and basically let him tire himself out. That was his whole game plan for Roundtree, and it looks like it worked because, I mean, watching the fight, the first round, you seen only thing Alex Pereira was doing every now and then he did a calf kick, then he did like a high kick him in the head, but every time it was Roundtree just catching one like 3 or 4 hits, 7 hits sometimes, basically catching with a nice hook, which I know Alex had to feel that. And this fight just showed me that, Pereira got a chin on him because he was taking all those hits. And, I mean, even though I know that was his game plan, I know they had to hurt because, I mean, I seen a couple times he kicked and he countered. And I know it. Like, I think he almost fell on the ground one time when he caught him from behind. So
Yeah. He was doing like a duck and a fadeaway. And, he caught him kind of like on the side of the head. And, I mean, it was getting dicey for a second right there because, he actually did. That I would count that as like he dropped him.
True. And so, I mean, the whole fight was crazy. I mean, to the point where I thought Alex Pereira was going to lose. But then as soon as the fourth round came, just like Pereira said, he finna tire himself out. He only had a couple more punches left. And then that's what Pereira went to work.
Roundtree, like, used all his turbo. Basically. I mean, honestly, they were fighting, in Utah?
Yeah.
So they were at elevation.
Salt Lake.
And, so if you haven't, if you don't know about that it's harder to breathe. So if you haven't trained for that, I think they both did train for that, but who knows, maybe you get into a real match and you're not ready for it.
Yeah,
but he just ran out of gas.
And he
had
him.
No energy to defend himself. And Pereira did more damage in one round than Roundtree had done dominating the first 3. It was a really crazy turn of events. It was like no energy, no defense, and he just got took out. He got his he'd gotten a scar from sparring. He got his scar busted open on his nose. He had a cut where he got his like whole eyebrow cut, and yeah, he was bloodied. I mean, he had blood all across his chest. It wasn't pretty.
That's the dangerous part about basically sparring and doing all that stuff before main events, because when you know you got a fight coming on, yeah, you do too much. Like you have to know exactly. Like if it's like 6 months to the fight, well, like 6 months never that long. Like when it's like 4 or 5 months to the fight,
it's very delicate because you want to stay in shape and stay sharp, but then you also don't want to do
get
too
knocked
much
out in sparring because it happens.
Yeah, or where you can get injured in sparring, or be compromised and possibly have to call off the fight.
That's what happened to Sugar Shane. One of the fights should have been ruled a no contest, but because he hurt his rib, but he stuck through the fight. So I mean, it happens. I mean. It happens a lot in UFC, especially in boxing. Especially like when was it Ryan Garcia, when Gervonta Davis found out that they knew Ryan Garcia was hurt and like he just attacked that area.
Oh yeah, he had hurt his rib. He had like a rib cracked in training camp, and he had a rat in his camp linked the information, and so Gervonta went straight for his rib.
Yeah,
and he put him down. You know, he made him take a knee, literally. Punched him in that broke rib.
Exactly. And so Pereira, Pereira joins the ranks of a lot of legends like Chuck Liddell, John Jones, Anderson Silva, Frank Shamrock, and all these people are people that won 3 pay-per-view fights in a full calendar year by KO or submission. So I mean, once again, they praising him. I mean, he's fought 3 fights in 1 year.
I think 2 out of those 3 fights will be crazy. I forget how to say this, dudes. You know, to be honest, I'm not a UFC super fan, but we have been getting into it more recently, and I have been enjoying it. But it was that Ankalaev.
Yeah, Ankalaev
is like a crazy dude, and so Duplessis is also like he's been really impressive in his last fights. He's been dominating.
A lot of people.
I don't know much about the Blast dude. What's his name? Blachowdy,
and a lot of people are upset that Roundtree got the fight with Pereira because he was like ranked number 7 or 8, and the first one Ankalaev was ranked a lot higher than him. Like he was ranked a lot higher. He should have got the fight, but they skipped him with the Roundtree.
But Roundtree didn't
disappoint. Who?
Roundtree is dangerous. They showed his his highlights right before the fight, and I forgot that he was like that. He really knocks people out.
Yeah.
And he was doing really well, but supposedly Alex was a little bit compromised. Some reports were saying that he was sick.
Oh yeah, he was.
So he was like kind of like had like almost like he was on antibiotics, that he almost had like a flu or something like that. So, but he didn't want to call it quits. So, but it ended up working out for him.
Yeah,
he kind of got Roundtree. He just paced himself and got Roundtree to wear himself out, and then he had his opportunity when Roundtree had no energy for defense, and he took him down immediately.
Yep, took him down immediately. So now the question is, who is Pereira gonna fight next? Is he gonna move down in weight and fight Duplessis for the middleweight championship, or is he gonna move up in heavyweight and fight John Jones? Who you want, Duplessis or John Jones?
Fight everyone.
I mean,
all at once, cage match. 4 people death match. No, that's not a video game. But let's talk about Pennington and Pena. We saw that fight, those 2 girls.
That was an upset.
It was a really close fight. I'm not like I said, I'm not an expert, so I don't know about points. But from my eyes and even the judges' eyes, it looks like Pennington did enough to win, but she ended up losing. Pena won by a split decision, and that was very weird. And then we also watched Aldo, the veteran, versus Batista, and kind of same thing there. Pretty close match, back and forth, but it definitely to the eye looked like Aldo had done enough to win that fight, and he lost to a decision to Batista. So yeah, it's crazy that the last 3 fights of the night, that 2 of them end in controversy. That's not a good look for UFC. And then also with the Sphere. What was that? 306 or 305 was the Sphere?
The last one was the Sphere. 306.
306. That the Sugar Shane's match. That was like a hug fest, and a couple of the last matches were really boring. So we'll see if they ever get into something where they change the rules to try to keep it exciting, like you see many sports do, where they kind of give a little advantage to the offense instead of defensive type people.
Exactly. But comment down below. Was this fight exciting? Did this UFC 307 live up to expectations? To me, I mean, it did. It wasn't no hugging in it. It wasn't a lot of fights that just ended up basically me going to sleep. But I mean, what about you? Did it live up? It was decent
Yeah,
too.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say the Pereira Roundtree fight was really good, but yeah, like I said, the last two out of the three fights, controversy, and it's kind of disappointing to see that kind of, even with the judges, or not judges, the TV personalities were saying that it was pretty easy decision that it went the other way. So we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But we are gonna know what happened